Uh, I'm sorry I have to disturb. I'm here to speak about the glamour factor of consulting life. You fly business class, enjoy luxury and stay in the top hotels of this world. Now the image of consultants flying around the world in business class, enjoying cocktails all night, exclusive dinners and so on, it's legendary. Is it just a legend or is it true? Let's find out. Talking about business class flights first. If you work as a top management consultant, the chances are high that you may fly business class. Woo! Now coming to the caveats. I think over the last 10, 15, 20 years the frequency of business class flights has steadily decreased, and that's for a number of reasons. First, the consulting firms themselves also try to cut costs, and if you may fly business class in your company, it may be the case that you only may fly it on certain projects or certain incidents or so on. That's one reason. Another thing is actually that the air carriers themselves have thinned out their business class service offering. And so I can tell you, for instance, in Germany, on certain routes, actually on many routes, there are no business class flights options anymore available. And that's just a fact. Is flying business class worth it? Now, for me, the biggest advantage of flying business class is that typically the neighboring seat is free, and that means I can work on confidential matters on my laptop without having the risk of somebody looking at what I'm doing. And yes, when you work as a top management consultant, you will be mostly working while flying. Of course, also, if you are booked on business class, you can board the plane a bit earlier. Not sure if it's really a big benefit. And yes, you can leave it 5 minutes earlier. Okay, fine. Question, is it really worth a couple of hundreds or maybe even thousands of euro? No, I haven't experienced this, I'm sorry. Coming to long-haul flights, there's a much higher chance that you may fly business class regularly. And that of course comes with certain amenities such as better menus, more comfortable chairs and so on. And also as a top management consultant, there's a very high chance for you to rack up your air miles, which typically you may consume privately as well. And yeah, I mean, you certainly get frequent flyer statuses and so on, different air carriers. That means you can also stay at nice lounges, have the airport lounges, you have priority lane access and so on at the airports. So that actually is useful and nice. My personal view though is that time spent on airplanes is not quality life time. So I like to maximize the time I spend on the ground. And there's ways how to do it. And stay with Euro Consulting to find out more about it. Let's talk about a perk of consulting life that I personally value much higher. If you work with one of the top consulting firms, you have a very high chance of regularly staying in very nice 4 or 5-star hotels. And this means you will have nice rooms with comfortable beds, you have huge breakfast buffets that you can choose from, you have a well-equipped gym, you maybe have a pool in which you can take a swim in the morning, and you stay in a central location. And I think this is for a couple of reasons, right? I mean, first, also, your clients would stay often in similar type of hotels if they go on business traveling. Also, I mean, it's very efficient. I mean, there's a good service, you can be fast, check in, check out and so on. And of course, efficiency is what consulting firms want, so you can work more and harder. And I think also, genuinely, I mean, you work hard as a management consultant, so I think it's also a genuine way of compensating you for that and also providing you with the opportunity to regenerate. There are some caveats though that I want to mention to you. If you work in Chicago or in Paris or in Shanghai, then undoubtedly you have a great selection of hotels available to choose from. Now if you work in the outlands, or let's say in the German countryside on a project with a maybe medium-sized company, then not always you have fantastic super hotels available and you just have to choose from what's there. Furthermore, for the top consulting firms with their comparatively high daily consulting rates, the expenses don't really matter so much. They are comparatively marginal to what we charge their clients. Now, of course, if you work for maybe a smaller consulting firm that charges its clients less, then of course the expense budget matters more in comparison, and it may be more inclined to save on such perks, which I think makes consulting life less nice. I think staying in a nice hotel is one of the highlights in your daily consulting life. It's just unfortunately very often you can't take full advantage of its amenities because if you come home after midnight, you just want to sleep and you don't care what bed you sleep in, and you probably won't get up early to go to the gym. And then maybe if you really want to wake up your sleeping time, you maybe just spend 5 minutes on a breakfast buffet. And then sometimes I feel sorry for the service personnel that actually takes such a great effort to provide you with a pleasant experience. Now, it's not always like that, of course. If you manage your project strategically, you can enjoy amenities, and that really is a nice perk of consulting life, in my view. We haven't yet mentioned that you always go by taxi, enjoy lavish dinners, experience cool team and firm events. So for the truth score... Oh, I have this really urgent appointment. Hang on. If you have enjoyed this video, then please show your love, hit the like button and subscribe to the Yuan Consulting channel for more business and career advice to come. This video is part of the Yuan Consulting Job Test series, in which I help you find out if you should become a consultant. If you would like to take part in this interactive test, then I invite you to first check out the test instructions in this video here right now. If you're already in the test, then let's go on to the next video in which we will explore how steep the learning curve for consulting really is and what roles you can expect to play during your consulting career. You shall find out here.